Greece, while it's a beautiful country, it's also different from the rest of the world in terms of culture and lifestyle. Travelers may find them in a dilemma due to such differences. Therefore, to have a hassle-free and comfortable vacation, one must heed the travel advice. Even if you're visiting Athens, Greece, travel tips will come in handy there too. This video is brought to you by Answerly, a question platform that pays you for adding high-quality answers on different questions. The users are rewarded in Answerly tokens, which they can easily convert into dollars or any other cryptocurrency by using one of the exchanges mentioned in the description. Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about the 15 tips for an awesome trip to Greece ultimate travel guide. So if you're planning to go on a trip to Greece, keep on watching. Tip number 1. Eat and drink like a local. While Greeks love their grub, eating out in Greece is a delectably casual affair. And rather than sticking to 3 square meals a day, they tend to eat more often. Good news for travelers wanting to sample the country's many culinary delights. It goes without saying that when you're away, it's better to look out for restaurants that locals dine in. Not only will the food be much better, but it'll be better for your pocket too. Tip number 2. Stay put in paradise. If you don't fancy multiple moves that come with the island hopping, why not look to park yourself on a lesser visited island for the duration of your trip? Take lovely Lesvos for example. It might be the 3rd largest island behind Crete and Evia, but it's surprisingly little visited. Its coastline boasts a bounty of beautiful beaches, while main town of Mytilene has an impressive seafront, an extensive fortress plus plenty of places to eat and drink. The island isn't short of pretty small towns either, among them Molivos and Iassos. What's more, the large shallow Gulf of Kaloni includes salt marshes that are a bird watcher stream. Before we move on to the next tip, please like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now and be updated for more awesome videos like this one. Keep watching because these tips will definitely help you enjoy your trip to Greece. Moving on to tip number 3. Learn a little lingo. First up, it'll make your trip all the more immersive. Secondly, Greeks don't generally expect foreigners to know any Greek, so they love it when you do know a few words. What's not to like about impressing and ingratiating yourself with locals? Given the high levels of English throughout the country, learning Greek isn't at all necessary, but that's not the point. Your efforts will be rewarded when your status is elevated from regular tourist to honored xenos, which means both foreigner and guest. Tip number 4. Embrace island hopping. These days, most people tend to stick to one island per trip. The golden age of Greek island hopping was back in the 70s and 80s. Having said that, there's no reason you can buck the trend and plan a multi-island adventure. While island hopping can make the traveling in Greece more complex, it can be done. What's more, it can make for a richly diverse experience. Ferry services are still plentiful and mostly reliable through the warmer months, so why not choose a group of islands like the Ionians, the Dodecanese, or the postcard pretty Cyclades? Most islands offer trips to see some of their smaller gems, such as this full-day sailing cruise around the small Cyclades from Paros. Or if you're flying into Athens, you could take a tour of these scenic surrounding islands. Tip number 5. Avoid peak season. Unless you absolutely have to travel to Greece during high summer because of school holidays, try to visit outside the peak season around late July to the end of August. At this time, the weather is scorching, prices soar, and you'll struggle to escape the crowds. This is when the Greeks take their holidays too. For a winter pick-me-up with added color and culture, you could consider visiting for the February Carnival or the Apokriatika. The celebrations span 3 weeks ending during the 7th weekend before Easter. For peak pageantry, check out Patras Carnival, one of the largest and most flamboyant in the Mediterranean and the 3rd largest of its kind in the world. Tip number 6. Meander the mainland. Although we've waxed lyrical about the joys of island hopping and about staying put on your preferred island paradise, don't fall into the trap of associating Greece solely with its islands. The mainland has a whole lot to offer too, from the imposing northern mountain ranges to the all but empty golden beaches of the western Peloponnese. Talking of which, the Peloponnese is also perfect for culture vultures who are keen to discover Greece's archaeological treasures, among them the ancient site of Olympia. Tip number 7. Take in the capital. Where ancient myth meets modern metropolis, historic Athens is as multi-layered as an archaeological excavation or a serving of flaky baklava. For history buffs, visiting this bustling city is one of our top tips of Greece, with exploring the Acropolis and Parthenon a literal and metaphoric high point of any visit. This guided walking tour is a great way to see the city's major sites, including Acropolis, with entry fees included in the price. Tip number 8. Take care in the capital. Athens is where you're most likely to encounter the effects of Greece's twin crises of recent years, financial and immigrant, with an increase in shuttered buildings and homelessness. While it's not generally unsafe, you should watch your valuables, especially when traveling on crowded transport such as the metro. And as with travel in general, look into taking out insurance before traveling in Greece, or to Greece for that matter. Better safe than sorry. Tip number 9. Be inspired by fiction. As well as researching where to go, when to go, and what to do, why not get yourself in the mood for Greece through reading fiction? There's no shortage of quality material to enrich your understanding of the country, from reworking of ancient history and culture to contemporary page-turners. To begin at the beginning, you could finally get around to reading Homer's The Iliad and the Odyssey, the 4 fabulous contemporary novels centered on ancient myths. Try Mandolin Miller's The Song of Achilles and Circe, or Mary Renault's The King Must Die, a magnificent account of Theseus in Minoan Crete. Then there's Margaret Atwood's ingeniously inventive The Penelopiad and Pat Barker's The Silence of the Girls. Tip number 10. Embrace Greek time. Leading on from eating and drinking like a local, it's worth knowing that punctuality isn't held in the highest esteem in Greece. Greeks tend to hold the healthy Mediterranean belief that most things can be put off until tomorrow, and nothing needs to be done in a hurry. Spanish mañana equals Greek avril. Tip number 11. Embrace Greek culture. You'll get a whole lot more from your trip if you seek out the likes of local festivals, feasts, and craft and food markets during your stay. Even better if you take part or get a guide to show you the ropes, with options running from taking a weaving class in Crete's traditional Eurolithos village to learning the art of traditional bread making. You won't be short of activities. And of course, don't pass up the chance to see Greece's rich ancient history up close. In all likelihood, there'll be a host of amazing ruins to explore whenever you are. Tip number 12. Be sensitive. While most younger Greeks regard themselves as open-minded, the older generation are pretty conservative. Also, the Orthodox Church still holds great sway. Nudity is frowned upon away from designated beaches, and it's not advisable to visit churches or monasteries in skimpy shorts or tops. Top 13. Don't be shy. Greeks are mostly extroverts and love exchanging views and opinions with anyone and everyone. So don't hold back on asking people about their beliefs and opinions or expressing your own. If traveling with children, you'll soon see how much they adore it and indulge. Children often act as natural icebreakers too, especially at restaurants where nobody minds them running around and making a bit or even a lot of noise. Tip number 14. Share the wealth. While resort packages, especially all-inclusive ones, can be very cheap, not much of the money you spend stays in Greece. So you might want to give a little back and stay in independent accommodation, a local guest house or locally owned villa. Not only are there great deals to be had, but you're also more likely to have a more authentic experience. As an example, Home Sweet Hotel in Plaka is a lovely option if you're in Athens. And lastly, here's your judgment. There's a lot of truth in the maxim that if you ask 5 Greeks how to get somewhere, you'll get 5 different answers. So take what you're told with a pinch of salt. Ask, listen, get a second opinion, but don't be surprised when the second opinion advice is driving in the opposite direction. Above all, don't worry, getting a little lost is part of the fun. Greeks tend to have a similarly divergent, flexible attitude to rules and regulations, like having to wear seatbelts or crash helmets and not smoking in public places. These are all regularly ignored, but it's up to you to whether you follow suit, take your cue or not from others around you. So there you have it. Have you been in Greece? Do you have more tips to provide for the first-timers? If you're a first-timer, make sure to take note of these tips. Let's know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you like this video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to this channel. To learn more about Answerly and Answerly tokens, check out the links in the description.